How long after that, when you guys started playing together, did you start SAASL?
It was quite a while. I think it was about a year. Um, Playing, just having fun socially, and I wanted to try and create something where kids were easily introduced into airsoft, because when we started playing, it was really tough. I mean, he was only 7 years old when he started playing, and at the end of the day, the regulations and everything, they cater for adult play. They didn't quite cater for youngsters and
Mm.
the patience for youngsters. So I decided maybe I'll start something where youngsters can progress, and that was the idea initially. And um, yeah, SASL came about when I felt that we needed different style venues. We needed this real, like, abandoned buildings, the Call of Duty in real life look and feel. We just wanted more intense action, if I could put it that way. And obviously, we were watching overseas play, and they had all these really cool abandoned buildings and hospitals and
Yeah.
fields, and everything was just on a whole other level, like years and years. I mean, we considered currently in the stone age of airsoft to the
Mm.
American crowd.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, and that's currently, and we've progressed over the last 5 years. We've progressed a hell of a lot, but yeah, we were pushed for it, and then our first event we got into, and it was an absolute success, and we just progressed from there. We just carried on. We pushed through.
Like I need to mention that listening to what you're saying now, a year afterwards, you started. You didn't know much about airsoft, or maybe not anything at airsoft, and a year afterwards, probably in my opinion, one of the greatest and most successful events that came out, and exploded the airsoft scene at Kempton Park. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to take your hat off. So you're a natural business person, and the research just obviously naturally comes to you. I mean, you got to take your hat off to that. You got to give props to that.
It was beautifully run. It was so much fun. I still remember it to this day. I have the video favorited on my phone of my gas blowback in the hospital. It's been one of the best events I've ever attended airsoft wise.
Well, and
Oh
that's
well, that's really nice to hear, because look, I'll tell you one thing about Kempton Park Hospital game. I Through high school, I couldn't speak in front of groups of people. I couldn't even do my speeches in English class. It was that bad. I had the worst stage fright. And when I created this organization, and then we got the ability to host games at Kempton Park Hospital, one of the most haunted attractions in South Africa, and just the everything about it, the aura of airsoft that just had, that was the idea. Let's go in, let's do this thing. We can do this. Let's host this really cool game. But I had a lot of guys supporting me in creating the organization. But I'll be honest with you, no one prepared me for speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
That first game, standing in front of 336 people, my first event I ever hosted, 336 players standing in front of me, vendors, all sorts, players from every organization in the country, because we had players from Cape Town, we had players from KZN, we had players from all corners of South Africa come through and play. We even had a few internationals, but no one from an influential perspective,
Mm.
just personal. And when I got up in front of at the top of that staircase, and I looked over this crowd, my knees couldn't stop shaking. Nothing stopped moving. I had a piece of paper like a school speech. I had everything, and I just stood there and I watched this crowd. They all looking up at me, waiting for them to give them the rules, the regulations, the understanding the game mode, everything. It was absolute crazy. I literally paced up and down the staircase so that you couldn't see my knees shake. that was the first game, and I'm glad you say it was a complete success and it was well run and it was one of your best events ever. That I'm very happy to have seen. But behind the scenes, yeah, we spent weeks making the hospital safe, and we spent weeks trying to prepare for this game and try and make a really cool game mode. But behind the scenes, I was absolutely crapping myself. I'm not going to lie. There was no easier way to put it. I was scared, stressed. I was worried about something going wrong. I was worrying about every single thing. But at the end of the day, we pushed through, we progressed, we came off with a successful event. And that event was only supposed to be 200 tickets sold, and we sold over 136 tickets over the total mark that we decided. And yeah, Kempton Park Hospital, just there was never an event that I couldn't sell out. It's definitely a platinum venue, if I could put it that way.
Well, that's also that Kempton Park event was also the event that got me into airsoft. Like I've played paintball before, I've played airsoft, but I never went into it as with a full team.
I was there.
So just for in case, just for our listeners, STYX is wearing a patch that we got at the Kempton Park, the first Kempton Park event. So
it's like a work of Ghostbusters kind of thing, the Night of Terror, and that was like the first glow in the dark patch South Africa had ever even had. That was really cool. I enjoyed that.
That's clever. So that was actually what got me back in. We used to use the airsoft as training tools for Real Steel and my students, and we went and we said, well, why don't we go shoot people and use our skills? And that's what got us in. And it's actually also the event that brought STYX and I together.
Yes, that's correct.
That was the event that STYX and I brought together. So, I mean, I give credit where credit is due. That was the best event, in my opinion, one of my favorites, and I'll always remember that as well. And I want to, expanding on the Kempton Park and the success thereof, there's been much more that you've expanded on. Like, what have you done since the Kempton Park event? If you can give us a little bit of a...
Okay. Well, starting from Kempton Park, obviously having 336 players show up, that was already an achievement. It was the largest airsoft game in South Africa on my first event, or recorded game. And then shortly after that, I had my sights on a world record, which I then hosted the Game of Thrones version game mode at Kempton Park Hospital again, and we broke the original world record from the United States, which was 300 players. So technically, we already broke that record, but unofficially. Then we contacted the world record companies and registered for it. And we broke the world record with 446 players under a roof for 24 hours. And that record still stands today.
Wow.
For the largest 24-hour airsoft game indoors.
In the world?
Yeah, indoors, because look, honestly, the largest airsoft game currently to date is 5,500 players, which is Dark Emergency. And that's been the world record for the last few years. They just keep upping the ticket holding and selling out. So Dark Emergency, and a good friend of mine, Nick, he holds that record. And one day when I'm big, I'll come for that.
Well, we hope that things like this podcast and the continuation of SAASL will bring in new fresh blood, new players, and we'll definitely get there.
Yeah, we definitely will. And I think with setting the world record, that was the first step at what I could see was achievements.
How's it, guys? It's STYX from Just Bear With Me and STYX Around podcast. We'd like to thank SA Airsoft Magazine for making the July and August issues free to read for those who have registered on the website in July and August. So once again, Thank you, SA Airsoft Magazine, for sponsoring this video.
Hey guys, Bear here from Bear With Me and Sticks Around podcast. I have some very exciting news. Bruce from Airsoft League SA and Airsoft X have given us 2 tickets for any 2 of our lucky winners in a lucky draw competition to win tickets into Airsoft X valued at 550 Rand each. It's very simple on how to get it. The first ticket is anyone as a lucky draw that has subscribed to our YouTube, has become a follower on our Facebook page on SA Airsoft Magazine, and also registered on our website at SA Airsoft Magazine, will get a draw or an entry into a draw. You can also get additional entries if you share the YouTube as well as the Airsoft Magazine on your social medias with hashtag AirsoftX giveaway, as well as hashtag Bear With Me and Sticks Around podcast.